Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. One of the most common injuries that we get or common complaints that we get as runners is a tight, tense or a sore calf. So in today's video I'm going to show you 4 simple exercises that you can use to rehabilitate a sore or a tight calf, and you can also use these as a preventative measure if it's something that you suffer from, like if your calf muscle waxes or wanes in terms of pain or tightness. If you do these 4 simple exercises, you should be able to keep any sort of injury at bay. The calf area of your leg is made up of 2 major muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscle. Gastroc meaning belly, and nemius meaning leg. So when we talk about our leg is from our knee to our ankle. Most people, when they talk about their leg, they think that their leg is going from the hip down to the ankle. But anatomically, the leg is only from the knee to the ankle. The 2 muscles that I spoke about, the gastrocnemius, which will be the biggest of the 2 muscles, that attaches anatomically above the knee. And then the soleus muscle, which is the other muscle that we're going to work on, that attaches anatomically below the knee. That's important because if you're doing a calf stretch and you have your knee fully extended, you're going to be getting primarily a gastrocnemius stretch. And if you have your ankle dorsiflex and you're doing like a calf stretch, but you have your knee bent, you're going to get the soleus muscle. And most people understand that when they're doing the stretching, but a lot of people don't understand that when they're doing any sort of strength or rehabilitation exercises. They forget about having that important bend in the knee to target either the gastrocnemius or the soleus muscle. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video today. First exercise, this is something that you've probably all done before. It's very simple, very straightforward, but I'm a keen believer in keeping things simple. If something works, then use it. If you try and complicate things, sometimes you lose the effect. So let's just go for the simple one. So standing 2 feet shoulder width apart, hands on your hips, and what we're going to do is just from there almost fully extend out or lock out the knees, not quite fully, just a soft bend, and then from there it's just come up and down. So we're trying to go a little bit quicker on the way up and control it a little bit on the way down. So it's slightly quicker as we go up and then control it on the way down. And I would suggest bringing the heel all the way down to the ground to get momentary rest, and then we go again. So it's just up and down. Second exercise from there, exactly the same, but remember at the start I said that the gastrocnemius attaches above the knee and the soleus is going to attach just below the knee. So in order to target the soleus muscle and get that specific strength and conditioning into that muscle, what we're going to do is the same exercise again. We're going to have our knees bent. So we're going to bend down into a squat, and I'm going to bring my knees kind of over the ankles, just because if I lean back, I'm going to lose balance. So your knees are going anteriorly. So they're kind of just over my big toe, and then hands and hips again, and then just up and down. And a little bit quicker on the way up and slowly on the way down. So that's going to really emphasize getting that soleus muscle. Again, most people just do this exercise with the knees locked out, but when they do the stretch, quite often they do the stretch with the knees bent and the knees slightly flexed like they are now. So it's important to do the strength exercise with the knees slightly bent as well. Otherwise you just totally bypass getting that soleus muscle and you put all the strength into the gastrocnemius muscle. The third exercise is in a similar position to how we would usually classically stretch our calf muscle, and then from there we're just going to use a little bit of resistance, a little bit of stretch and a little bit of mobility. So I like to use the 3 modalities all in one, and I find this one is fantastic for doing it. So we're standing at the wall like as if we're going to do our calf stretch. So that's classically how we would do it, one leg in front of the other. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the 2 feet back together. Okay, so we're both back. I'm leaning into the wall kind of at an angle. My weight is being pushed in towards the wall, and then what I'm going to do from there, I'm going to just bend one knee, so you get a stretch up through the opposite calf, but I'm getting lots of ankle mobility on the bent knee side. And then from there we're just going to switch, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch over, so I'm getting a stretch. I'm also getting a bit of strength because I'm pushing my hands towards that wall, and I'm getting a huge amount of ankle mobility. So I like to do this exercise at a speed or a rate that would match the cadence that I use when I run. So around about that 175 to 180 revs per minute. Fourth and last exercise. Again, I like to use a couple of different modalities when I'm doing my exercise. So on this one, we're going to have the strength, but we're also going to have a key factor coming into this, balance. So what we're going to do on this one, we're going to stand on our 2 feet. I'm going to be kind of near enough to the end of the mat, okay, so maybe mid-mat, and then from there I'm going to have my knees bent, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my right leg up, and then I'm going to just flex it down and try and reach my toe towards the end of the mat, and then come back up. So I'm working on the standing leg, As you can see, I'm getting good dorsiflexion up through that ankle. I'm really stressing those gastroc and soleus muscles as I reach that foot down, and I'm also keeping myself well balanced. Switching over. So as we go down. So the balance on this is going to be the extra added key modality, because our ankle joint is full of ligaments, and the ligaments provide what we call proprioception, and that's what helps you to maintain your balance. So exercising or stressing those ligaments in order to get them to keep you balanced is going to be very beneficial, especially if you're running on any sorts of trail or off-road. When I do this exercise, I like to stare at the front of the mat around about where my toe is going to reach it, and that kind of helps me keep balanced as I come up and down. That's it with the 4 exercises, guys. They're very simple, they're very easy, they're very, very effective. Like I said, I tried to add in some more modalities than just the strength and conditioning. We got a good bit of stretch in there, we got a good bit of mobility. So if you're struggling with pain, tightness, tension, something feels a little bit mobile or a little bit inflexible, you can go through that little routine. I would suggest doing that routine, do it maybe about 20 minutes before you go out for your run, and you can do it immediately when you get back from your run. Anyway, anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to question, stick them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you run far, run fast, but most of all, run sensible.